Hi, I'm Diane, and I'm going to show you a really wonderful project that I think is really beautiful, and it has to do with drawing people. And we're going to use, and it looks like this actually, because we're going to outline first and then draw circles for the body and straight lines for the arms and legs. And we're going to color with oil pastels, and you're going to need some construction paper, just colored paper. This paper is for your paint, so you can mix the color for your paint. And you're going to need some brushes and then some water too. So let's get started. The paint should be darker than the paper or lighter than the paper so the paint shows up. So to do that, I'm just going to mix a little bit of this brown, and I'm using acrylic paints. And a little bit of red. You could also do it with tempera paints, and you could also use Indian ink as long as it shows on the paper. So, and then with a brush, so those are my oil pastels, and I'm going to mix this together. And what I'm going to do, the first thing, I'm just going to put a border around the 8.5 by 11 sheet. There again, you could just use anything that you have to make this really simple. And then I'm going to divide it in half. And then I'm going to make the head as a round circle, and the body, and then the arms are going to go straight across. And I want them to touch the outside of the border line, and also the feet. And if you need to make it a little bit thicker, you can go back and make your line a little bit thicker. But see how beautiful that is on the black paper? So we're going to do another head up here. Oops, and there I have a neck, which is a circle, makes the body parts easier to draw. And there's the body as a circle, and then the legs, and then the arms. And then this arm is going to reach all the way over there. We could even have that one reach all the way over there. So we're kind of making a puzzle. So all of these parts, these compartments, are going to be filled with color. So you're going to let this dry. Make sure that you have enough paint on here. And have it on thick enough. And then we're going to let this dry, and then we're going to take oil pastels and color it all in. So I waited for my paper to be completely dry, that the paint is not wet at all. And you can tell when it's not shiny. That's how you know that the paint is dry. And then as you can see, all of these shapes, and I'm going to turn these upside down so that I can just be thinking about filling in the shapes. Because I think it's easier that way, rather than thinking, oh, this is a head and this is a body. So it starts to become more of a pattern. So from your oil pastels, you're just going to fill in those spaces. And you can press lightly. I usually press medium hard because the color is so beautiful when it goes on a little bit thicker. This works better with oil pastels. I think you'll like oil pastels better than crayon. Okay, so there's one section. And then I'm going to fill up all the other parts. And this might take a while, but I think the funnest part of this is just watching the oil pastel go on the paper. I just think that's just so beautiful and so amazing. So we're just going to fill in the shapes. And how I pick my colors is mostly from what I have, and just so that they vary from place to place. Like I don't want to put two grays next to each other. I want it to sort of you want to break up the color in different parts. So since I have the gray in my hand, I'll just move over here and fill that up. And then I think I'll try a green. And so what I'm trying to do is sort of, I put that bright green in different places because the value of the color, and which is the lightness or the darkness of a color, and the variation of that will make this turn out just really vibrant. So I'm going to revisit that in a minute. Now this color on the black paper, this is really orange, but the black is changing the color it affects. So what's underneath will always affect the color that you put on top of it. So I'm not going to pick this color. It's too close to this brown color that I mixed. So I'm going to set that aside. Let's see about this one. This one too is doing kind of the same thing. So I'm going to go back to some of my more vibrant colors. This is a reddish. Actually, that's really close too. You know what I could do? I could add another color on top of this, which is I'm going to choose a white. And that's going to lighten the color a little bit. So the white and the reddish color makes just a really wonderful pink. Okay, and then I'm just going to take the white over here. Again, pressing hard. So if you pressed really lightly, can you see the difference between the two? It just gives a much more of a vibrant piece. It almost looks like you've used paint. So you want to get all of those places. And if your hand starts hurting because you're pushing too hard, you can just stop and rest. But it's really worth it to take your time and travel all around those parts. Sometimes if you use the side like that, that's not very effective either. So just keep on the tip and press hard. You'll be really glad that you did because it's going to turn out to be so good when it's all done. So with a little bit of effort, you get an amazing piece that you can take home. Now I still have these pieces to complete. See what other colors I have. Oh, that's a white also. I could use that. And that's a brown. Oh, here's kind of a blue color. Yeah, that's perfect. Now remember, I had this upside down, so I'm going to turn it around to just give me a different perspective. So since the blue is here, I'm going to put the blue up here in this circle. And let's see what else we have. I think I'm going to use this dark green again. There again, the value of the color doesn't have a lot of white in it, so it pushes way back. This has more white in it, so this color is vibrating just a little bit more. So you want the whole variation. Put a little bit of green there. And I kind of like the black in those two spaces too, so you could leave that, but not all over, just in a couple choice places so that you're leaving them because you want it to look that way. And so that is the super duper fun project for you to do. I want to show you a couple more things though, like on this one, I layered the colors. I put the color down and then I used white here, as you can see, which I kind of like that movement. The way that I move my hand, oops, now there's pink in there, added to the whole composition. So that's another thing you can do. And I want to show you two more. This one. See, this is very bright. It's very simple, but this is the other thing you could do. It's because I hope that you do more than one. This is a little bit more embellished in that you can tell this is a girl, this is a boy, and then the way that I put the oil pastel on, I just did little circles, and you can see what I left behind is part of the paper showing through. And then here, just smidgens of different colors to give it a whole different look. And then in here, the empty spaces, I added another color. So there's a lot of possibilities of what you could do with this project, and just have a really good time with it. And thanks, and we'll see you in the next lesson.